Well, the title of the exhibition is Updating Germany. It's about new projects coming from Germany with a background in social and ecological sustainability. We looked for new projects for the next generation of interesting approaches, so the architecture which is coming after what we already know.
Well, there is this big discussion at the moment that we are facing a lot of social and environmental problems, and so the architecture is not so much about the formal aesthetic questions of architecture, but also about the way or the chance architects have to influence the world and how to tackle these issues or these challenges we are facing at the moment.
Well, first idea I had was, updating, that's just one further step ahead, yes, and so far I understood the idea of the General Commission. It's exactly this idea, not to change the world in general, but how to deal with all these challenges, problems, not only in a practical way, but also in a visionary way.
Matthias Böttger, architect, Raumtaktik.
I'm Friedrich von Borries, architect, and my office is Raumtaktik.
I am Marta Döhler-Besadi, the head of division of building culture, Baukultur.
So I'm Nicolas Bourquin, I'm the art director or creative director of the studio OnLab.
My name's Alison Dring. My partner and I, Daniel Schwag, are Elegant Embellishments.
My name is Ludger Hofestadt. I'm architect and professor for computer-aided architectural design at the ETH in Zurich.
My name is Heike Brückner. I'm a landscape architect and I'm working at the Bauhaus Foundation in Dessau.
My name is Francis Kere, Dibedo Francis Kere, and I am coming from Burkina Faso. I am an architect.
My name is Christoph Barleb and I'm an architect.
I'm Sabine Ehling-Saalmann. I'm originally architect.
My name is Stefan Rettich. I'm architect and partner from Cara Architects.
Well, I'm Sandra Bartoli and I come from Italy. And I'm a landscape architect working in Berlin.
So my name is Jens Thiel. I'm no architect. I have a background in business and economics.
The name of our office is Graft and the partners are Wolfram Putz, Lars Krückeberg, Alejandra Lillo, Gregor Hoheisel and me, Thomas Willemeit.
ProSolve itself is a decorative architectural tile. It's a tile that seeks to reduce air pollution in cities. It works with a photocatalytic coating that responds to sunlight.
We started to reorganize a neighborhood, so we said, let's build a bookmark kind of library.
It's really a signal of confidence towards the citizens living there, because normally they never receive such an open offer.
As a student, I found the association Schulbausteine für Gando e.V. In order to help my people build suitable houses.
The City Islands project means a long-term spatial strategy for a city in a shrinking process.
Saying, listen, all these pink houses could be real homes if you help us to fund this project. And it got global attention, media attention, and by now we did fundraise the money to rebuild 150 homes.
The Green Desert Mine is, to put it simply, to take an extreme condition, which is more or less becoming a man-made condition, desertification in megacities, and to transform them into green environmental landscapes, where to put nature back into our lives.
It's a lake, yeah, it's a lake for the future, because it's going to be actually ready in 2100, and which means the industrial coal mining is going to stop in the year 2045, And from then on, this huge pit, which, as I said, is 400 meters deep and 40 kilometers broad, is going to be filled with water.
The idea of the Great Pyramid is pretty simple. It's a cemetery and a memorial at the same time. And the new thing about this project is it is open to people from most various religious, cultural, social, ethnic backgrounds.
Digitalstrom is the marriage of energy distribution and information technology. It depends on the intelligence of the very small and the very many. It's like an ant swarm, and it's organizing our environment like that.
So everybody can play with the perspective of paradise, and we didn't want to give an answer at the very beginning.
We are looking from a perspective of an architect, but our ideas are not only done by architects, but also by other specialists in certain fields. And I think also the audience coming from a different field in architecture will take home ideas how they can actually change their life, how they can change a building, how they make it more sustainable for a better future.
What we at Raumtaktik do right now is another way of doing architecture. It's dealing with the built environment in general. So it's all about space and how we perceive space, how we behave in space, how we use space. So it's more than just buildings.
We are, I guess, interested more in these invisible processes. Something happens on a molecular level that people aren't aware of, you can't see it, and yet it solves a lot of problems.
We believe that networking and bringing people together, being interested also in foreign cultures all over the world, is a necessity to understand ourselves and also to understand and define our role in this very changing world.
What we do is basically projects about urban development, and also projects which have to do with, roughly spoken, consequences of demographic change.
Take the city as a social sculpture, using the everyday life as a resource, and shaping the form out of the process.
So our idea of a compact, densely used city is very important. I think it's also a precondition for the fact that a city can work in a social sense.
I think our role as architects is not to say that we're not interested in politics. You know, we are interested in politics, and we are interested in science, and we are interested in philosophy, we are interested in technology, and not to just frame this as, yeah, we're just architects and we're trying to make, you know, the next icon.
I am only very happy to be able to work as a bridge between your culture of technology and my culture of tradition.
Thinking about buildings as a stage for individual use, and this kind of infrastructures should be enablers for your individual interests and individual ways how you want to live in your homes, in your architecture.
Architecture is designing of processes.
Well, for me, it's mostly about constructing the world.
Architecture is a very, very bright scape panorama of ideas, of perspective, of positions. But I would say you can see architecture everywhere. And architecture is probably more a state of mind than an art or than a science.
And it's not about the architects that they can save the world, but they also have a little piece to do, and that's what we call the updates that we present here, and we hope that everybody takes home some new ideas. And our selection is only 20, in our book it's 100, but in the end there are many more, and the idea is that we build up a whole catalog of ideas.
How do I want to live in the future?
This is a big question. So normally I don't think about that, but I think I will live in a future where there is no boundaries.
I don't really know how I want to live. I know how I don't want to live. I prefer to have the choice to live in the future than to be dictated from our actual behavior.
It's a really good question to ask about life, but I think, or we think, it's as good as a question to be asked about death.
I have some problems with the future because in the short time span of our practice, we realized that even the presence changed so much.
Well, I want to live as I now do live. I like the place here in the middle of Berlin where I work and where I live very much. It is a wonderful mixed-use areas with lots of people.
My wish is that we can find an exchange between the whole scales, the big pictures, but also of a living scale.
You can build up a society on intellectual resources which are unlimited, which is important because if you want to have millions of years on this planet, you need unlimited resources. And it's our own intellectual power we are able to live on.
The biggest challenge ahead is not how to master the newest 3D modeling software and do the craziest amorphic shape only. You should also do that, but how to bring it to life in a world that will struggle with the many problems to come.
The advice would be to also take all these challenges as a chance and to question almost everything that we did so far.
Maybe it's also the idea to, in going forward, to go back to the roots, back to the beginning, and creating a loop that the paradise could be a possible future.
I mean, for me, the future is going to be strikingly beautiful. It's going to be very green, and it's going to be luscious and juicy and full of life. And of course, we had to give up maybe some things, but we gained so much out of this.
When we talk about a better future, we all hope that there is a paradise, or we are looking for a big utopia we can look forward to. But unfortunately, that's not what is there. We don't have a utopia, and I personally don't believe in utopias. So we were looking for updates, for small steps.
This idea that a building is built and we must conform our behavior to the intention of the building is, I think, something of the past. I think our interaction with our city, our buildings, our spaces, it should be more immediate. I think we should be able to play.
Look, experimentation is part and is necessary for the development of architecture and for a better future. It's, you have to take risk.
We don't have to hesitate to start just because we don't know what the big vision is. We have to start with what we have now. And there are wonderful ideas, and that's the message we have. And there are many different ways, and we have to try them all.